listening to the Motor Mouth.
Hello. You guys are the best. Man, you guys are insane, hilarious, and the best stuff I've ever seen.
That's right, Chris and Ray.
Motor Mouth!
Did I win anything? I got through! I can't believe I got through!
Well, I'm glad you guys are around because I didn't even know you existed.
Hey, how are you, Motormouth?
This is one of those days, nothing to do, so I figure why not spend it with a couple of nobodies.
Motor Mouth!
You also have my picture up on the webpage.
Boy, you taught me something about that car.
Why must you ask such difficult questions?
Motor Mouth!
I don't know too much about motors.
Do I come running to your show?
We love you guys that have these shows.
Our trained staff of 2 will help.
Is this that jerky car show that I listen to? Oh, you distributed capital, my under-port condenser.
Quite frankly, there are better things to do with your time.
Trying to dial the phone with transmission fluid all over me. I finally got a chance to listen to you guys streaming. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy.
Yeah, I want to know what the is wrong with my car.
I haven't even called my own mechanic back, but why don't I ask you?
But you guys are pretty special guys.
Motor Mouth!
Must be a motorcycle thing, because I'm not familiar with that.
Yes.
Let's just think right now, Murphy's Law, what's going to go wrong? Is the board going to explode? Is the mic going to drop? Is my phone going to drop? I love live radio. I'm just having some fun with you guys.
There are answers, sometimes correct ones, and we may have them.
Motor Mouth Radio, 90.3 FM, WHPC.
Motor Mouth!
This is Motormouth Radio, your one-hour automotive talk show. And now, here are your Motormouths, Chris Switzer and Ray Guarino.
Alrighty, the #1 automotive talk show in New York, simply because there's no other automotive talk shows around to listen to. We're the only one. This is Motormouth Radio, your one-hour automotive talk show right here in New York. I'm Chris Switzer, and of course, here's a man that will never text and drive, due to all the other tasks he has to perform while he is driving, shifting, reading instruments, and trying to contain the smoke. He's right behind the shop bench right now. It's Ray Guarino. How are you, my brother?
Good, Chris, and that just happened to me this week. I had to say, yes, I really can't talk to you because we're driving on instruments, and it was... Right, the whole band was there, so... Yes, and it's funny you say that, because I want to give you a thought. I want to get your impressions on this.
Boogity, boogity, boogie.
Okay, picture any...
Shane, what are you doing, Shane? How's that for impression?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Sucked. Picture any intersection, four-way intersection on Long Island or in Queens, and not the God awful borough of Brooklyn, because we don't drive there.
No.
Nobody drives there.
No.
We just sit.
Yes.
But
you idle there.
Picture this.
Yeah.
You're looking at a four-way intersection. You're hovering above in, say, a helicopter. You're in a Chris-copter.
Okay.
Sounded like a salamander or a slug or some kind of a octopus trying to walk across a deck.
We're here in the helicopter, the Chris helicopter.
There you go. Okay. You're not talking. You're observing.
Oh, okay.
And you look down at that intersection, and you happen to see a lane of traffic in a left-hand turn lane that has a separate light.
Okay.
I'm in that lane. Now, I'm 4 or 5 cars back.
All right.
Okay. And
so
you
there's a good chance you may make that light.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I missed it, and I'll tell you. But I want you to tell me your impression.
All right.
Because I feel like, now my car is a standard shift. It's a stick shift car. But I feel when I'm in that position like everybody in front of me has a standard shift, and I have the automatic. Do you know why?
You feel that everybody in that left-handed turning lane has a standard shift, and you have an automatic, when probably the opposite is true.
I would say 99% probably.
Okay, I'm at a complete loss here. Why would you think that everybody else has a standard and you have an automatic in the left turn?
Because of the way traffic behaves. I look at that light. I'm watching. Now, I know the traffic patterns where I am, and I know who gets the light when.
Sure.
Well, let's say I'm at an intersection where I don't know that.
Right.
But I know, like, okay, I've been here 3 minutes. It's about my turn, our turn, and the light changes. My car is in gear, and I'm ready to come off the clutch.
Agreed.
And no, now I'm in the clutch, and I'm on the brake again. Why? Because nobody's moving. And the lights, and I'm looking into the left-hand part of the lane to see who's, and nobody's moving.
Well, it's because everybody's on their phone.
This is my point. So finally, you would think, my thought was that you would think it would take longer for a stick-shift vehicle operator to get their car in motion.
Correct.
Whereas I was like the guy in the automatic, already on the move when the light changed, and everybody else wasn't moving. And now you wait, and I've lost that light with only 4 people ahead of me.
Oh, my God.
I have lost that light. And you know how insanely incensed I get when that happens?
Yes, I do.
Oh, if I could only repeat some of the flavorful comments I've yelled at my windshield.
Your panties get in a bunch when that happens.
Let me tell you something. Because there's no need for it.
No.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It really is, and it happens all the time. I've noticed a pattern just the same as yours, where you literally have to sit there and wait with your hand on the horn at every traffic light, because there's always some clown shoe in front of you that's preoccupied with looking at their electronic device while the light is red. No, I understand that. I get it. You got a little bit of time, glance at your phone. But they get instantly so absorbed into that electronic device that when the light changes, you got a place to go, and they're in front of you.
Well, yeah, come on. A hand of hearts could take, 6-8 minutes. You got to finish that. You got to make sure you get that.
You got right. You got to crunch all that candy.
Protect that queen. Oh, that. Yeah. Right, whatever. Yeah.
So
freaking Facebook, knuckleheads. Yeah. Well, just something I noticed that I should probably just have an automatic because it would be easier for me to transition.
Just out of curiosity, how fast can it take for you, let's say, like you said, let's say you're the first guy in that left-hand turning lane. You're the first guy, and you vague out. Let's say you gray out, and someone beeps their horn at you. Now, you have to go. How fast can you get on the clutch, get
2.5 seconds.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not even, probably even half of that.
Now,
I would give that to you. Probably even half that amount of time takes for you to get the car from out of gear into gear and moving forward. Right, well, it would take less than 2 seconds.
I wouldn't have to take it out of gear to put it into gear.
I'm just saying.
Let me qualify it. I don't sit with the car in gear. I don't sit at the light with my foot on the clutch. It's in neutral.
Right, it's in neutral. So how long does it take you to go from neutral?
Not long.
Not long. Seconds. Not even 2 seconds.
Yeah.
For you to dump it into gear.
And usually when that happens, I'm going, I'm leaving wheels for the intersection because I'm off the clutch really fast. I'm like, oh, that's where that friction point is on this dopey little Japanese car. Okay, good. Wow. Those new tires roll.
So I totally understand. It
drives me nuts.
It's that preoccupation. Please, everybody, pay freaking attention. I have an issue, and I have something. No one else goes through this except for people in Brooklyn. And maybe I should preface people in a borough. No one goes through this. Every morning, before I leave, I am in sync with an old Chinese gentleman that walks down my block. Now, he walks down my block very slowly, incredibly slowly.
And he's doing the Shanghai Shuffle.
And he passes, I'm not even going to touch that, and he passes my house.
It's the Hanoi Hoppy Hop.
I'm not going to touch that either. And he passes my house at the same time I'm ready to leave.
Oh, the Thailand trip. That's when you have to crack in the sidewalk, yeah.
I'm not going there either. Anyway, so now, mind you, I have to get all my stuff for work in the car. I see him. He's a house and a half away. I see him. And he's shuffling. He's shuffling. You could watch me. I'm on vaughnlive.tv/motormouthradio.
Jump up on the camera.
My long-time radio
can see your feet.
What are you going to throw dollar bills at me?
No.
He's just shuffling away. He's going. So I got to... Oh, here he comes. Get in the car. Hit the key. Vroom, fire it up. Get out of gear. Get out of clutch. Get the emergency brake there. And then just start rolling out before he gets to my house.
And not spill the coffee.
Because if he gets to my house, I'm there for another 5 minutes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because he's walking past my car.
Wow.
And he doesn't look. He's not going to stop and say, oh, this individual wants to leave his driveway to go and experience his productive day. No. He's literally got to... And I'm like, wait now. And now you can't hit the horn, and you can't leave.
You could hit him. I say you put those pillows on the bumper of the truck. Just give him a nudge. Hey. Come on.
A little cow catcher in the front of the car.
Call it the Asian assist, if you will.
Send all your cards and letters to that man right there.
It's a Cantonese cohesion. Coercion, yeah.
I'm so glad I brought this up.
I am too. This is great. It's the best thing you've done for a while. It lets me stretch my brain and think all these words that almost rhyme.
Wordplay, these insults. 516-572-7440 is the phone number. This is Motormouth Radio, Thursday, Sundays, noon to 1, right here on this fine radio station. You can call us. We're live. We're on vaughnlive.tv/motormouthradio if you want to see the silliness in action. We're also on Performance Motorsports Network, iHeartRadio. They really support us, and God knows we need it. So how was the week that was, Ray?
Very busy for me. I've been doing a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I was recently playing with BX cable again, which is one of my favorites.
I'm sure.
Wiring up my shed for electricity, and actually tested it in the rain last night. So you know how confident I am of my own work.
Handling that BX.
In the rain. Well, yeah. Now, years ago I thoughtfully bought a BX cutter.
Oh, those things are great.
If you know how to use it.
Yeah, I love those
I've seen guys that didn't know how to use them.
No.
And then they're not too great.
No, those things are awesome. I love a BX cutter because it's so much easier than using a hacksaw blade. Let's go back to the phones on the construction show, and let's go back to the phone and hear dial tone. 516-572-7440. Come on, let it ring a couple of times before. Let me pick this thing up. You know what I mean? We're doing a show here. We're busy. 516-572-7440. Get a bad connection here. Can you hear me now?
Try it again.
All right, let's go to the phones. Back to the fun. How you on with the Motor Mouths?
Guess we have delay today.
All righty. Bye-bye. 516-572-7440. You know, after you dial, the requirement to a phone is speaking into it. Just letting you know. 516-572-7440. So,
I didn't get to follow up on something I brought up on Sunday because we had a guest. We had Dave Ugrin from Lee Miles and Roslyn.
Yeah, it was a good show. You can check it out on motormouthradio.com.
And it's going to be a little while because we're expecting a call in a minute or two. But I want to talk to you about how being observant saved my life. Remember that?
Yes.
I brought that up, and I never got to talk about it, and I think it is something that should be talked about because it's kind of public service.
When that anvil was falling from the sky, and it was right under you, saw the shadow under your head.
Metaphorically, that's what happened.
Let's go back to the phones, back to the fun. Hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Steve Dennis, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, listen, we're trying to drive. How can we drive listening to you guys?
Oh, well, you can't. No, you can't. Where you got? What's happening today, Dennis? You're transporting again?
We're just coming back from Connecticut. We went up to Hartford.
Oh, very good.
You went to Hartford? How was everything in Hartford?
You know, you're talking about the slow-walking guy?
Yeah.
Well, the other day I'm walking down the street, and there's a cross-eyed guy walking up the street. And he walked right into me. He said to me, "What the heck's wrong with you? Why don't you watch where you're walking?" I said to him, "Why don't you walk where you're watching?"
Good answer.
Yeah. How long were you waiting for to actually tell that story to us on the air?
You got no guests today?
Actually, yeah, we do. We have a couple of guests. The first one to call is going to be Dennis Quitoni. He's going to call to talk about the East Neck Auto Show next weekend, and he'll probably right when you get off the phone, he'll be calling us. But
all right.
I did mention we had Elliot's friend Dave Unger on from the Roslyn Lee Miles last week, and it was fantastic. So I recommend people go to motormouthradio.com on the download page and listen to that show because it was really very good.
You can even watch it too. We have the video up there as well.
Yeah, I'm losing you guys on my phone here. I'll listen to you on the radio. We're just on the Northern State Parkway around it.
Okay, great.
Okay, Dan.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, all right. Take care. Good talking to you.
All right. Always a pleasure. Bye-bye. 516-572-7440 is the phone number. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take a break. When we come back, hopefully, we'll be on the phone with our perennial producer himself.
The Big DQ.
The Big DQ will be calling us, and we'll also find out how Ray's public service saved his life. That's what we're going to find out. 516-572-7440. Plus your call here at the Primo, not the Segundo, the Primo Automotive Talk Show in New York. It's Motormouth Radio. Keep it where you got it, because we're coming back.
This is Motormouth Radio, your 1-hour automotive talk show.
WHPC 90.3, the voice of Nassau Community College, is looking for individuals, businesses, charities, or organizations in our local global community that would like to donate to support our radio station. Whether you listen locally or online, here's how it works. Go to our webpage at ncc.edu/WHPC and click Donate Now. Or, if you prefer, you can send a check to the NCC Foundation, Nassau Community College, 364 Rice Circle, Garden City, New York, 11530. In the memo of your check, write WHPC Donate Now. This message was brought to you by the radio voice of Nassau Community College, WHPC, streaming online at ncc.edu/WHPC.
And this listen to Motormouth Radio. We're on the road.
All righty. We're back. It's Motormouth Radio, your 1-hour automotive talk show here on Long Island. We're going to run to the phones, run to the fun, and say hi. You're on with the Motormouths.
Hey, Chris, this is Dennis Quintoni from Performance Services calling.
The big DQ is on the line.
Hey, Dennis.
How are you, Almighty?
Hi, were you? How was Ray?
Excellent.
Ray's doing well. He's sitting right here.
I almost didn't make it here today.
Can I actually say hello to him in person?
Yes, you can, in person and on the air, everywhere.
Well, there we go. Hello, Ray.
Hi, Dennis. How you doing? Good to speak to you again.
Yeah, good to hear from you guys. Hey, listen, every summer, come around the middle of August, we have that little car show out there on Route 109, East Neck Auto Service.
That's right. You have that barbecue, right? You all get the hibachi out and stand around it.
Yeah, what we do is we put 8 hamburgers on Brian Beatty's top fuel car, and
that's what I call. Yeah, that's what I call a good meal. Everything's well done.
Yeah, very well. Exactly. So, I'm not going to take much of your time here today, but certainly my call is to invite you guys and all your listeners out to that show. We're going to do something a little bit special this year because besides firing up the Top Fuel Dragster, we are also going to fire up a Top Fuel Harley Davidson motorcycle.
Wow.
Nice.
So that's going to be kind of cool, and there's only about a handful of those things in the whole country, so we're really fortunate to have one of these things on Long Island, so it'll be there. And we're going to fire them up, and of course we're going to fire up some alcohol, blown alcohol cars, and besides that, of course, we have all of the street cars and hot rods. The Long Island street rods are going to be there with a whole bunch of cars this year. We have the Christmas tree competition that we have, and we have a big model car display coming on this year, from what I understand, including a model drag strip competition. So
awesome.
I know you guys have always graced us with your presence in the past.
We would not miss it for the world, Dennis. You know that it's a fantastic show. And you guys do a fantastic job putting it on. It's a cackle extravaganza.
It's also because we've brought presents and said grace. So let me ask you, Dennis, with the motorcycle thing, this is a bit of a departure. Is it something? Are you looking to switch camps and go to 2 wheels, or are you just kind of stretching? You're just stretching out the tentacles of your ever-reaching...
Well, I looked at how much it cost me to race a car with 4 wheels, and then I figured maybe if I raced one with 2, it'd be cheaper.
And you found out it wasn't.
It's not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not half the price, right?
No, I'm staying with what I got. I'm still running the Altered, and we're having some fun with that. In fact, I leave tomorrow morning for Lebanon Valley for a weekend. But, it's not about me. It's about the car show, and East Neck Auto Service, those guys do a great job of allowing us to put that thing on there. And, just one quick plug for John, the man that owns the place.
John Correcchia, yeah, he is definitely a huge supporter and a great lover of the sport and everything automobilia. And like you said, we're going to be there, and a lot of our listeners do come to that show. We've actually met some of them there.
Great.
And I'll be bringing my own car down, so I guess I'll have Christian save me a spot in the back of the bank. I'll park on the roof.
I know when Chris brings his, we usually park it across the street, So
right.
But I don't know.
Thanks, Dennis. You always save me a spot way in the back across the street.
Wallbaum's loading dock.
Yeah,
I don't even know if you're allowed to be in Suffolk County, to tell you the truth.
Right.
Last time I was back there, I found a whole big box of cantaloupes up on the trunk.
Nice.
Well, anyway, I'll let you guys get back to your shenanigans, and I appreciate you giving me a couple of minutes to plug the show. Looking forward to seeing you next week. So,
Dennis, real fast, any information, if anybody wants to find out any information on the East Neck show, how would they be able to do so?
Well, the best thing to do would be to call East Neck. Of course, it's on a website. We have a website for the whole thing, but...
Did I catch off guard?
You would think that I have that phone number in front of me. But
I put him on the spot.
You did. Now, I'm not prepared. I wasn't prepared when I was in high school. Why should I be prepared now? Okay, it's the number at East Neck is 631 321 7434.
Okay.
And just speak to John. But again, I think everybody pretty much knows that show and that location. It's right on Route 109. You can't miss it. Right. It's 1 mile south of the 1 mile south of the Sunrise Highway.
Got it.
Correct.
Alrighty.
Okay, buddies.
All right, Dennis.
All right.
And we love the Cracker Jack producing. Very good. Production on the play.
All right, then. Good luck. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye. 516-572-7440. I do appreciate that show. I really do. This next show is always a lot of fun. I know you like it.
Always been my favorite.
And it's the only time I get to wear the headphones that you got me.
Right.
It's the only time I get to wear them. It's during that show. Because it gets pretty loud.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. It's pretty loud and a lot of nitro, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
It is, because that stuff burns. And Ray likes it.
I love it.
Weird.
It's cologne, it's mouthwash, it's everything. I love everything. Every orifice it gets, it tingles, and I love it.
For God's sake.
I keep a bottle of it in my garage, as a matter of fact.
I don't want to know about the orifice.
Neither does the fire department want to know about the hazardous material.
516-572-7440. Please change the subject. 516-572-7440. So, I discovered something that was very unlikely, but it worked like a charm, and I'm wondering if I should take this venture a little further.
You found your old members only jacket?
Yes, how'd you know?
Because you're wearing it.
It's the suede one too. It's the Nehru one. Very nice. I had washed the car. I went over to one of those U-washes, and I washed the car, and it came out really nice. But I found that I must have run over some sort of gum-like substance, because I found a snot mark of it on the lower portion of the front fender. And I tried, as much as I tried with the rag to wipe it off, of course, all you're doing is smearing it around, right? You know that kind of gummy stuff. And I didn't have any goof-off, which usually is the go-to stuff to remove any of that gummy, snotty type of material.
I have a product by Turtle Wax. It's called gum tar and something remover, and sap. And it takes it off fantastically.
Tree sap, I'm sure, would probably have the same consistency. This was kind of fresh bubble gum sort of consistency. I don't know what it was. I don't really care what it was, but I'm just assuming that was pretty much what it was. I went into the trunk, and I'm digging through my crap I got in there, and I'm like, I had antifreeze. I should try a little antifreeze on it? No, not really. I had a little motor oil. I went, try a little motor oil on that? No, not really. I found a tube of Gojo. And I just checked it, made sure it did not have the pumice, because I didn't want to scratch anything. But I said, let me try a little drop of Gojo on the rag and just give it a quick wipe just to see. I do suggest if you do this, try it on a...
That couldn't have been the tube that I gave to you when we had Harold Tyerman in about 2 years ago, wasn't it? We were in that studio over there?
No, that was the cherry flavor. That's my air freshener in the bathroom.
Gotcha.
No, this is different. It was a different tube. It's the plain old Gojo. Yeah. I don't remember where I got it, but it's got to be over 2 years old. And I was able to just massage it into the gummy area. Came right out.
Beautiful.
It was so nice. I'm looking at it going, this is great. I think I stumbled on something here. But the paint, the condition of the paint is good, but it's an enamel-based white. So it's not like a metallic or a lacquer or any sort of acrylic material. So I don't know if this is going to work everywhere. So I'm saying try it in a spot that you don't really see very often, like the inside of the trunk, and make sure that it's not going to scratch up and destroy your paint. But I thought, what a good idea.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have pumice in it.
Hey, if it works, why not?
Just fine. I was chuckling over it. I'm like, holy smokes, this is great. 516-572-7440 is the phone number. So do we want to talk about your life and death experience?
We will, but first I want to tell you about something new on the horizon for electric vehicles. This is cool. Goodyear, as well as Firestone and maybe others now... Well, Goodyear has this new tire called a BH03 concept tire that can produce electricity for electric vehicles.
The tire?
Oh, yes, sir.
Can produce electricity?
Yep.
Like on a standard car, not on an electric vehicle. On a standard car?
This is for an electric vehicle.
Oh, for an electric vehicle. Okay.
It was debuted at the 85th Geneva International Motor Show. And this tire, it looks to address the real problem of drivers getting anxiety from running out of battery power. When their range is coming up. It's limited by the battery's storage capacity. So this tire it can charge an electric battery while moving. There's basically piezoelectric threads in the cord.
Ooh.
As well as, if you look at the tire, you can see a picture over here. There's these patches of what they called ultra black in the tread.
I'm going to hold that up.
What it does is it processes the heat that's generated from driving, and and what that does is transforms that heat into electrical energy to recharge the battery. So it's like regenerative braking, to another sense. And if you remember, it had to be 5 years ago. Our dear friend, may he rest in peace, Mike Landry, when he was calling the show, called us and he quizzed us because he was good for that. He'd ask you a very specific question. If you answered it wrong, he'd give you. And he asked, I forget how he phrased it. I know I got the answer right. And it was, where is all the friction when you stop? We were talking about brakes that day.
Right.
So, of course, you're going to say, well, it's in the brake, between the brake pads and the rotors. No, the answer is between the tire and the road.
On the road.
Because the brakes slow the wheel and tire down, which that friction on the road is what slows you down. And the way you know is if it's a slippery day or an icy day and you stomp on the brakes, you skid. You don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no friction. So that friction between the tire and the road is what creates heat.
Right.
All friction creates heat. So these piezoelectric threads are able to take the heat and convert it to electric. There's a converter in there somehow. Mm-hmm. So interesting idea, because you can now just all you have to do is drive.
But you need some hell of an extension cord to plug into the tire and then wrap it around and get it into the car.
They didn't say how they're doing this.
How do they transfer the electricity, the power from the tire tread to the vehicle?
Yeah, they didn't say, and maybe that's because it's a concept. But it has a layer of thermopiezoelectric material. As long as those, and along with those ultra black patches. The ultra black patches are cool because they'll absorb power from the sun, solar power, when the car's parked.
Oh, cool!
So there's two ways. So I guess if you're stuck in traffic in the sun, you can still get some battery power out of it because you got to turn the wheels maybe to point them at the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody will be making rights.
Well, or whatever. Yeah.
In the morning and lefts in the afternoon.
So they say right here, other details remain vague, in addition to information regarding the second concept tire that they're coming out with, and probably because it's proprietary, and Firestone already has one out the same way, the same kind of thing, so I guess the technology emerged.
That's amazing that they're going to produce a tire that has such high technology built into it, and it must be somewhat durable, because a tire really is in a very bad environment if you think about what the tire's life, what it has to endure.
I'll tell you something. I want to look into this. I've been seeing commercials for these Michelin tires, and they claim that as the tires wear down through use, the performance does not. And as you know, with any other tire, the performance does degrade.
Sure does.
And there's a specific name for this tire. I don't remember what it was, and I'm assuming they're going to be pretty expensive, but I want to look into those. I want to know more about them. This technology makes sense. A fella that I work with here at the job told me about, also there's another, he read about a technique where there's an engineer working on a way to take power of a moving train. As the train gently undulates up and down, they want to take that motion and transfer it to electricity. So you can pretty much convert anything to anything if you have the right converter. Let's face it. Analog to digital, you can do that. Wind to electricity. So it's just a matter of coming up with the right converter and then making it affordable, sellable, and reproducible.
And it's not a moment too soon, because very, very soon What did the president sign a bill or a law? It's probably still in the bill stage, where we're going to severely cut back on our coal usage.
Oh yeah,
and we're going to have to find some alternatives for producing electricity. Some bulk alternatives.
They have that clean coal, or what is it called? It's
I don't think any coal burns clean.
Now there is a version of coal that's called clean coal or Evo coal, something like that, and that was the latest development in coal. But whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, let's take a quick break right now. 516-572-7440 here on the Motormouth Radio Extravaganza. It's Ray Guarino. I'm Chris Switzer, and what are we doing here? Did we?
Taking a break.
Oh, we forgot the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. Oh, son of a gun. The Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour gang, drivers that are tired of road construction. Are you tired of sitting there watching that flashing yellow arrow? Or if you're just tired of it, you'd much rather just drive on the side road or drive on the sidewalk, but I don't suggest you do. But if you feel like it, you want to, don't do it. but just be part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. Just celebrate in silence with yourself and 2,000 of your other friends still waiting there watching that yellow flashing arrow behind the truck. So celebrate where you can and be cool, because if you hate road construction, you're part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. Keep it where you got it. Got a lot more coming your way right here on the show that talks about cars.
Your call help you out at 516-572-7440.
You got the touch! Tune in every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and hear a program unlike any other. Join me, host Justin Greenberg, as I play music that I promise you're not going to hear anywhere else, and some hits that you'll be singing along to with as well. It's Saturday Rock, Saturdays at 9 a.m. on 90.3 FM, WHPC, the radio voice of Nassau Community College in Garden City, New York.
Ooh, yeah! Got a car question? Give the Motormouths a call at 516-572-7440.
You're listening to Motormouth Radio, you lucky dogs. 516-572-7440 is the phone number. You can check this out on iHeartRadio. You can also check it out on the Performance Motorsports Network. Proud to be part of such an established organization, both of them. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the fun. How you on with the Motormouths?
Hey, it's Kevin from Massapequa.
What's up, brother love? How are you?
All right, I got a couple of points. First of all, I was going through my email today. I got an Esquire thing, 10 things you didn't know about tires.
Ooh.
And I just and it was from Car and Driver, and it was saying how one of them was wider tires don't improve traction.
Mm-hmm. Well, as they wear, you mean? Right?
No, even when they're
new. No. Well, it said I didn't really get into it because I wanted to discuss it with you guys. Okay. But the next point after was, but wider tread patterns increases stability, traction.
Yes.
And one of the other ones, static electricity is one of the downfalls of tires.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Mm-hmm. So I just figured I'd just bring it up to you guys. Maybe you can read the article and see what I'm talking about. Like I said, I wanted to just throw it at you guys this morning.
Actually, the really good thing to do would have been to send us that article before so we could read it and then call and talk about it.
I only saw it about a half hour ago.
I got you. That's all right. Listen, there's a lot that goes on, and static electricity is part of it. You walk across the carpet with rubber soles and you make static electricity. Rubber tires on concrete or on asphalt will also create static electricity. It's never really. I read something about that years ago. It's never really talked about much, but so I'm interested to see why they brought that up.
Well, Kevin, you ever pull into a toll plaza and you see there's it looks like a series of small, they're like piano wire type sized, about a foot and a half tall, and that are on the ground in between your wheels. When you roll up to it, that basically touches the bottom of the car, and what it does is it grounds the car. So you don't ground the toll collector when you hand them money and give them a shock, because that's what probably happens.
It's the same concept when you get out of your car on a cold days when it's very, very low humidity, and women have this problem more than men. It's been proven, and they'll touch the car and get a shock.
Right.
It's static electricity. It's discharging.
I have that problem all the time.
I said women have the problem more than men. I don't have that problem.
I had also heard guys that operate the cranes, when they get out, they have to drag their feet along the ground as they step away from the crane, so they don't end up shocking themselves too.
Wow, I wasn't aware of that, but
it's a union thing, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it's a union rule.
The guy had to take a safety course on dealing with, I guess, this heavy equipment, and that was one of the things. No, you got to drag your feet when you step away from machinery.
Okay.
And I'll send you the article.
Please do.
Do that. And the other thing was that, remember I was telling you I had a problem with the air conditioner in my car?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I went to STS where I serviced my car, and he says, air conditioning is pound specific as far as the air conditioning. Because even if it's low by a couple of half a pound, he goes, that could throw it off. He goes, your the evaporator could have been frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the condenser's outside, the evaporator's on the inside.
That's correct.
He gave me a third point that could have been part of the problem. And he said he goes, how long were you sitting in traffic? 45 minutes. I said, well, he goes that could have a lot to it too, especially on a hot day. There's like we had discussed, air movement.
And Kevin, the problem was that while the car was sitting, it was cold. But as you were sitting with the sun baking down on the car, you felt that the air conditioner was less effective.
Yeah, just like it wasn't just blowing hot air.
Right.
But then it responded later. So I guess maybe as the car got moving, it was able to do the voodoo that it do so well.
Well, it's a heat to air exchange. That's what the condenser does.
Right.
And it actually helps have air moving over it, because AC is it's a liquid. Freon is a liquid that turns to a gas. So that's how AC works.
My father was in the ice business, so I had gotten the whole. He gave me the entire.
He gave you
the history of air conditioning.
He gave you the recipe.
History of air conditioning right from the day that it invented to how it works.
I thought he just gave you the recipe. That was.
All right.
He's not Polish.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I just wanted to run it by, and there was something about I think rubberless tires. I guess they work. I guess they're not solid, but I had when you see the picture.
Yeah, Michelin. It looks like a web.
Yeah.
It looks like a custom wheel, just with there's a name for it. I know that came out a couple of years ago.
Okay.
It's an airless tire. There's no air in it.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. It looks like
it looks like an inky rim.
Yeah.
Just on the tire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting design.
Very much.
All right, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Thanks, Kev. You too.
Talk to you later.
All righty.
Thank you for stretching the wrinkles out of our brain once again.
There you go.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 516-572-7440. Always a colorful call from Kevin.
So a customer service call made me realize why guys who work on their own cars and other things, you could be into construction, you could be a plumber, you could be an electrician. I think anything you do with your hands, a welder, a flower delivery guy, anything that you do with your hands and think, makes you a better mate and a better spouse. That's my theory. You have that look. Look at the camera and look like that. Because you look like, that's a third grade look when they said, Mr. Switzer, bring up your homework, and you go,
the look is basically, where in the hell is my longtime radio colleague going with this?
See, if you used long-term as the determinant, you'd know that I do have a tie-in.
I know you do, but it's going to be one of these meandering rambles. We're going to go over
This show is about stories.
Over there, we're going to swing around.
No, I'm actually going to get right to the point after I set it up, if you'd let me.
Okay, go ahead.
I found that many times in things that I do, because of the knowledge I have working on cars and motorcycles and trucks and things, it translates to housework.
Makes you a better lover.
In ways that women can't, most women, I'll say.
Yeah, you better preface that.
Can't fulfill, because some can.
I'm sure.
And what it comes down to, just like having to clean something particularly dirty, like you said with your car.
Right.
You had a piece of knowledge that you go to your automotive dealings to deal with that problem.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But when it comes down to just cleaning a grill, a gas grill, the grate from a barbecue grill, women will stand there, I can't get this stuff off. I cleaned the grill today. I said, you know what, give me it. It's a matter of just using your skill set. But I was on a customer service call.
So basically your problem-solving skills.
Yeah. Well, drawing from your hands-on knowledge.
Okay.
Is what the thing is.
Got it.
But I was on a customer service call for satellite radio. And one of the problems I had was I had a car kit. And believe it or not, the lighter, the power adapter that plugs into the lighter socket, I plugged it into my 06 Mazda. I couldn't get the light to light. It wouldn't activate, so it wouldn't turn the radio on.
Got it.
And I pushed, and I had to bend it down, and then I could maybe get the light to come on. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this thing?
You didn't twist it?
Oh, of course I twisted it. I did everything.
Checking.
Short of getting a hammer. So I said, you know what? Let me just go to the oldest car that has a working lighter, and I went to my Pontiac because the lighter is hooked up in that car. I plugged it in, it went right in, lit up like son of a biscuit. So one of the calls I made was to get a replacement lighter adapter.
Right.
Well, they don't have replacement parts, so they can't send you one. They recommend that I go and buy one. I said, hey, wait a minute. I just bought a radio with a whole kit, the whole kit and caboodle from you people.
Right.
You got to supply me with something. This is your problem, not mine, even though it was. So what they agreed to do was send me a whole new radio and car kit.
Are you kidding?
And they said, take the adapter out of that, send us back everything with the old one, and that's how we'll handle it. I was like, oh, geez.
Wow, what a pain in the butt.
So, of course, they send me the kit.
Right.
It's the radio with a house kit. which doesn't have a cigarette lighter adapter.
It's got a plug, I'm sure.
Try explaining this to the people at customer service when you get on the phone for an hour and a half. And you explain it just like I did.
I understood it.
And they don't know what the hell I have. Do I have is it the car? Do I need a new car? They want me to send. No, well, we'll cancel that radio. No, holy shamoly. Well, I finally got to a woman who was not on the Pacific Rim somewhere. She was not up in a tent in Nepal. And these people are very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not really slamming them.
They're trying.
They're good. It's like when you talk to HP customer service in the Philippines. They're very good at what they do.
Right. You can understand them.
They just lose something in that translation, and they really didn't grasp what I was getting at.
Got it.
So when I finally got this woman who sounded American. Actually, she sounded to me like she was from the South somewhere.
Okay.
I forgot her name. I wrote that. Pamela. Mm-hmm. What a woman. This cements my other claim. Pamela knew this was a warranty claim. I explained to her. She followed me 100%. And she says, okay, but you need a return voucher to send this thing back. But what about the problem? I said, don't worry, Pamela, I fixed it. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh, you're one of those guys. And I said, yeah. I said, tell me about that, Pamela. She goes, my husband's the same way. She goes, he will find a way to fix almost anything that doesn't work. I said, is that right? I said, can I have an amen? I said, that's what we do.
Can I get a witness?
That's what we... And we went on for a few minutes about how... Which sparked my thought about how guys who work on things figure out the workaround. Basically, I told her, I don't need your company anymore. I'd like to get the parts sent to me, but you know what? Nah. I said, I fixed it myself because it ain't worth dealing with you anymore. It's like, I got other things to do. I have electric to run. Mm-hmm. I have a BX to grind.
Right.
And don't forget to put that little bushing in the BX. Once you cut it, you got to put the bushing in.
Little red bushing, yes.
Always put the bushing in.
Yes.
So that just solidified that thought of how once you have a skill set and a tool set that you use, you can really expound it into many, many areas.
Now, how does this supposed to maintain and improve your relationship?
Okay, you can go there if you want, because as the person who can affect these repairs. Now, not that particular repair. I mean, if that was my wife's car that had the problem, yeah, I would have been the hero. It happened to be for my own car.
Right.
But just by being able to know how to step up your game to like a power tool, let's say, or a solvent, a cleaner, to get something done that the woman of the house couldn't do because they don't have that skill set. Mm-hmm. That's nothing against them. They just don't understand. They don't. I wouldn't expect my wife to know how to use some of these things that I do frequently. And honestly, I see her come out to the garage or in the shop, and
with
she walks
in pieces.
And I'll just be and I'll turn my head, and I'll see that look, and she'll just. It's like the nun in the Blues Brothers. She'll back out of the door. Her feet don't even move. She just goes, "Talk to you later." Good. And then you're back like things flying. It's just, I'm saying it's just something we bring to the table. She cooks a lot better than I do, So
I just can't wait. Every show I update the Motormouth Radio homepage, and I always like to find a headline for just an attractive headline that maybe gets a tease to get someone to listen to the show, something, anything, because
aliens visit radio station.
Right, we'll try. We'll try. That may be the headline.
Man swallowed by plant.
Because we'll try any sleazy, low-down tactic to get you to listen to this program. But when I was just thinking, that would have been, I was just pondering all the headlines that I could put up there, up until the point Ray just gave me 2 brand new ones that were even better. So,
well, hey, whatever. Put them all up.
Boy trapped in refrigerator eats own foot.
Make it a multiple choice. Which one do you want to?
We don't have enough room.
Oh yeah. So let's take a break, and then I'll come back and finish up with my observations, possibly saving my and Joe D's life, and maybe everybody else's life who would have driven with me.
Right, because we got to find out if your life was in danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
That's correct.
Ray Guarino, I'm Chris Switzer. This is Motormouth Radio, the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. You're tired of construction on the road. You're tired of hitting those orange cones. You're tired of seeing men in hard hats sit around and do absolutely nothing?
The village people.
If you are, you're part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour. Keep it where you got it. There's a lot more of this mess coming your way, plus your calls. 516-572-7440. It's Motormouth Radio, baby.
Got a car question? Give the Motormouths a call at 516-572-7440.
Joan Buckley presents Your Family's Health. Professor Joan Buckley from the NCC Nursing Department discusses health issues concerning us all. Listen to Your Family's Health Wednesdays at 11:30 a.m. and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. on 90.3 FM WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College, streaming at ncc.edu/WHPC.
Excuse me.
Motormouth Radio.
This is Motormouth Radio, your 1 hour automotive talk show. There's no excuse for us either. That's Ray Guarino.
Yes, there's an excuse. We can always be used as a bad example.
516-572-7440. Humor the bad example. Give us a call. Let's see who's,
somebody is. Yes.
Let's see who's on the line. Hi, you're on the Motormouths.
Yes, I have a question for you.
Who are you and where are you calling from?
Frank from Belmore.
Hey, Frank, how are you, my brother?
New caller, Frank. How are you?
I catch you guys all the time in the car when I can.
I was going to ask you, how did you find us?
Perfectly good way to waste time in the car. It's enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are a perfect waste of time. Thank you.
Okay, so here's an idiot-like question from an idiot. I have the temperature light for the automatic transmission. It flashes all the time. And took it in the shop. They said, we can't find anything wrong with this.
Well, Frank, what kind of car is it?
A 98 Subaru Forester.
Okay, so it's officially weird.
It has a transmission temperature light. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's flat. Initially, it started intermittent, and now all the time. I can start it up in the morning. There it is. It's blinking. So my solution was to put a piece of electrical tape over it, and I've been ignoring it for about the last 8 months.
Nice.
Ray is definitely in tune with that. But is the transmission shifting normally? You're not seeing any?
It's just they said the shop they couldn't find anything wrong with it. Maybe there's some kind of internal short or something, obviously. But you guys got any suggestions?
Okay, my suggestion is not technical as much as it is practical, because I don't know the vehicle intimately. It sounds like, with a vehicle at that age, there's obviously sensors involved, and something is that light's getting a signal when it shouldn't. So it does need to be looked at by someone who knows how to scan those things. And I can refer you to a shop. If you send me an email at motormouthradio@ncc.edu, I'll send you a local shop that can do that for you.
Because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to pull codes on.
When you get older like that, there's ground issues, there's corrosion, there's just it could be a dirty connector that's just not making connection anymore, and it lost the ground signal and it trips the light. It could be something that simple, but you need somebody who knows it. And I'll send you a transmission shop that's local who can
Frank,
look at it.
I just have to ask you a question. What was the last thing you did to the car before the light started to flash? Do you remember? Since it was 8 months ago.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah, no.
It's like you're not gonna make this real easy.
I remember when it happened the first time. It was getting off of the Cross Island, and I'm looking at this thing flashing, and I had to go pull off and make sure I wasn't burning the engine or something up.
Yeah.
And it said, drive it. And that's when it reset itself. And it got to the point now it's on all the time.
You see, something a transmission shop can do, too, is they can manually test the temperature with a separate gauge or a separate method to know that, okay, we verified that the temperature is correct. It's in the operating range. It's not bad, so we know there's a problem with this light. And they'll diagnose from there. So, like I said, send me that email, and I'll send you the information for a local shop.
Well, it's not the temp. Like I said, I can start it cold, and that light comes on.
Right.
So it's definitely an electronic issue.
So they're going to go right to the electronic diagnostic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. But that is definitely the case. It is a sensor issue. I would assume it's a sensor or a wire issue. But it's unless you are adventurous enough to slide under there and just look and see if there's anything physically broken, which is something that I will do on a moment's notice. But if you're not going to do that, then please send us an email. We'll be able to hook you up with something.
Perfect.
All right, Frank. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Frank.
Keep wasting your time with us.
I enjoy it so much.
Thanks so much. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
516-572-7440. When we last left Ray.
So there I was last week, Saturday, in preparation for my trip up to Whitestone Cruise Night.
And he wasn't wearing pants.
Had my car had my GTO up in the air, doing an oil change, the first one, and did what we preach, what we always preach. As I'm laying there watching the oil drip, I looked around.
Right.
And said, "Oh, it's pretty under here. Boy, is it nice."
You had framed pictures of your kids. You had a little fuzzy bunny under there. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the fun. Hi, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
How you doing? I got a question about lug nuts.
Which lug nut is this? Who's this?
My name is Rob.
Hey, Rob. What's going on, brother? Where are you coming from?
I'm in Belmore.
Okay, what's going on?
Another new.
I had my front tire came off on the parkway.
Hey,
you're in the other group with Chris.
all the studs were sheared off from the rotor.
Holy smokes!
And there was none of them broken inside the lug nuts.
Right. Wait.
And I just put new tires on about 100 miles ago. Could they have over-tightened the lugs and snapped the studs, and maybe they loosened up?
Wait a minute. You said there was none broken off inside the lug nuts. Does that mean
none of them?
Does that
they
mean
all sheared off from the rotor?
Does that mean does that mean you retrieved the lug nuts?
Yes, I was able to get the lug nuts.
And they were just empty lug nuts. That's odd. That means that almost means the lug nuts walked off.
Yeah, like they weren't on tight enough.
Yeah, I mean, they were brand new. I used the car a couple of times, maybe 100, 200 miles, and I got no wobbling, no vibration, nothing like that. And then all of a sudden, the front tire came off.
Chris, let me ask you this. How did it feel when your wheel came off?
You heard a noise first.
Just like did you feel going one by one?
It was all of a sudden. I had no warning, no nothing, you know?
The same thing happened to me, believe it or not, but I heard this pop, and it was very, very, very rapid. It was quick. You heard the noise, and I was like, what is that? Next thing you know, boom, I'm on the ground, and I'm sliding off the road. But now, what kind of car is this? Let's start off with that.
It was a 55 Chevy.
Oh.
And I just put them on, like I said, maybe 200 miles ago.
Well,
I was just wondering, could the guy have over-tightened it and snapped one or two of the studs?
Okay, well, the fact that you said the rotor means obviously the car has a disc brake conversion on it.
Yeah.
So we're not dealing with, 60-year-old lug nuts here. We're dealing with
everything was brand new.
Okay. Did you check the other side just for the hell of it?
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
And did you check the torque or just went hand?
No, I mean, shop put them on.
No, I'm saying, when you checked the other side, how did you do it? Because I would have gone up there with a torque wrench.
No, I just checked them with a regular lug wrench after that happened, you know.
They were tight, right.
Okay, so they were tight but not over tight.
No, I mean, could over tighten them snap the stud?
Yeah, well, yes, technically, but you really got to go. It's almost impossible. It is possible.
You really have to tighten that thing down.
I've had cars that I worked on where the lug nuts were so tight, my half-inch Superman impact gun could not break the lugs off.
Right, because that's what they put them on with. They put them on with an impact gun.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, if that could have been the case,
Let me ask you, have mag wheels on the car?
No, I put 20s on it.
So is it an aluminum style wheel, like a mag wheel?
Yeah, it's like aluminum.
All right, don't ever use an impact gun on those lug nuts on those wheels again.
That's for sure.
Hand tighten them and torque them down.
Yeah, I'm sure they torque them down.
Don't be sure of that. No, I'm going to tell you something. Because shops I've used that were owned by friends of mine who I let change a wheel, I found out, the first thing I do when I get home is I recheck the torque on all my wheels. And I found that even those shops over-torqued.
Okay.
Or under-torqued. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that they all broke, something happened. How long have the rotors been on the car?
Maybe a year or so.
And where did you get
I don't use the car. I just use it for shows and stuff,
Okay, that doesn't matter. Where did you get the rotors? Are they GM parts or were they off the internet?
No, the shop bought them all. They did the whole conversion, everything over for me.
I would kind of be thinking that maybe it was a substandard part. If the rotor's from China or something, God knows what they use.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking at the other side myself. I'd want to disassemble the other side and take a look. It's not too hard to take a rotor off. I mean,
No. I was just wondering if I had a suit against the shop to put them on or not.
I don't know if you could. I don't know. You know, you got to talk to a lawyer about that one. I don't know if you could prove that.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it could have snapped it. I thought the rim would prevent it from, tightening too much. Wherever the lug nut meets up at the rim, it can't go no more than that, right?
Yeah, but what it does is it compresses the rim against the rotor. And literally, like I said, when I bought my wife's car, I had an aluminum wheel on it, and a tire shop had just put tires on the car.
Right.
And they tightened out those lugs so tight, I couldn't get them off with my half-inch gun. Right. And what it does is it'll actually warp a rotor, it'll warp a rim, it can crack a rim too. So you should look at the tapered surface of that rim where the lug nuts seat. Look at it very close. Even with a take it off the car. Even look with a magnifier if you have to, and see if there's any cracking. That would indicate over tightening.
Right.
But also they could have been too loose, like Chris said. But then you would have felt, especially with a 20-inch wheel.
You would have felt the wobble. You would have felt it in the wheel, definitely.
And why in the world did you go for 20-inch wheels on a 55 Chevy?
Oh, yeah. They look nice. I wasn't sure what to do. Where I stand with them.
You take your car to Belmore on Friday nights?
Yeah, I live over there.
What color is the car?
It's red and white.
Red and white.
Not anymore. It got totaled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, is it the same incident because the wheel fell off?
Yeah.
Took out the fender?
I hit the guardrail and the car flipped over.
Oh, jeez.
Smokes.
Yeah, so I was wondering if I had a lawsuit against anybody,
Holy.
Well, like I said, I think what you need to do with that is talk to a lawyer.
Right.
Yeah.
Not us, obviously. We're not lawyers. And end up, it's going to be proving it. And did they put 2 tires on the car or 4?
They put all 4.
They're going to want to look. You're going to have to look at those other wheels. We have a friend that does that. He does forensic insurance investigation, and he would look at all the other wheels. And if he found evidence of over tightening or abuse, that would be the information he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for the classic car insurance to take a look at it and tell me what they think is going to happen. But I'm underinsured. I'm not going to get my money back on the car anyways,
Who's your insurance carrier?
American Home.
Okay, American Home. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. Do you have an agreed value policy?
Yeah, 35, but I got like 50 into the car. I never thought anything would happen, so I never brought it up.
Yes, you need to raise that policy, obviously. But well, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. That is what it is.
Yeah.
If they told
I wasn't sure if anybody was at fault.
Well, there may be. I'm not going to say they're not. There may be, but you have to be able to prove it.
Right.
And that's
so look at the rim and see if the rim is indented. That'll be an indication that they over-tightened it.
I'd look for cracking, too.
Yeah.
On the rotor, too?
I would definitely look at the rotor. I'd want to know country of origin. I'd want to know all sorts of stuff. The other thing is, I'm thinking from playing devil's advocate from the other side. From the other side, they're going to say, well, those wheels were never meant to go on that car, so it's owner neglect. So, but anyway, talk with your insurance company, get an agent, keep notes, and talk about that claim ad nauseum.
And take pictures, too.
Does the insurance company investigate stuff like that to see what the cause of it is, or they don't bother with that?
Yeah, because if they can get paid out by somebody else, it saves them the money.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Because I never notified them that I put the new tires and rims on.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to tell them you put tires and rims on.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
All right,
guys, thanks a lot.
All right, Rob. Take care,
Good
Rob.
luck. Bye.
Take pictures. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it went there.
Yeah, holy smokes. Rob was very low-key about the outcome.
Well, thank God he's okay. Sounds like he's no worse for the wear. Unless he's calling us from a hospital. I hope not.
No, I hope not. But that is, I would hate to think that the shop was at fault there. But,
like I said, it could be parts. It could be the origin of those parts. Right. Substandard,
That's very comprehensive, Ray. You did a nice job on it.
I'm just thinking, I was thinking if it was my own car, what would I want to know?
Oh, my gosh.
And I would definitely want to know. That's why, again, my credo for my car is I'd rather use a good, known, old part than a new, unknown part. And you know what rotors I have on my car? 10.5-inch vented cast iron GM rotors that came off another guy's 66 Chevelle when he did disc brake conversion 30 years ago.
So in a minute, can you tell us about...
I'll talk about it on Sunday.
We're going to find out, Nick, on Sunday about your life-changing information?
Yes, it's an interesting story, and we're going to want to talk about it.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So we'll give people a reason to listen again. So, unless they want to hear about it.
Give people a reason to listen. What a concept. Speaking of reason to listen, what's coming up on Sunday?
Oh, we're going to have fun. We have Mike Giassi and some other guys, I don't know who yet, from the ELTC Exceeding Limits Truck Club. These are the hot rodders of the trucks. These guys have slam, bag, drop, body drop, chassis drop trucks. You've seen them at the car shows. The beds are on the ground. The engines are through the hood. And And they're just a fun-loving bunch of guys. We're going to have them in on Sunday.
And what we love about them is the fact that they are true hot rodders.
And they wrench their own stuff.
They wrench their own stuff. They weld their own stuff, and they don't use big budgets, which is kind of cool.
Right.
They're innovators.
Old school.
They're all MacGyver type of guys, and they like getting their hands dirty. And they're definitely people that we like to mill around with. That's for sure. And that looks like it, Ray. Tossed another hour. Burned another hour. Ruined, incinerated. Another hour of fine, upstanding radio programming right here on Motormouth Radio. For Ray Guarino, I'm Chris Switzer. This is Motormouth Radio. We will talk on Sunday, and don't follow us home. See ya.
Bye.
From a town near Oyster Bay, Long Island, comes the show devoted to the music of Long Island's own Billy Joel.